Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Malik, and I'm going to run through a presentation that takes you through what we need to do to get ready for testing, which is Wednesday, October 8th. Important things to know, again, it is Wednesday, October 8th. Testing will begin at 8 and will be done approximately 11 a.m. for most of you. Please note, this is not a Lamont time start day. So you do need to be here at regular time on Wednesday, October 8th. You'll need to be in your testing rooms by 8 a.m. This is a digital exam, so you will need your fully charged Chromebook. And everyone is taking the PreACT. So to quickly review the makeup of the test, again, it's a digital exam. You will be logging into the TestNav app from the Apps tab on your Chromebook. You will receive a login ticket or an access ticket that has a username and a password on test day. And that login screen will look very similar to what you see on the right side of the screen here. There are 4 test sections: English, math, reading, and science. And here you see the number of questions per test and how many minutes you have per test. So I'd like to take a look at TestNav now. If you haven't already done so, please take your Chromebooks out. If you don't have your Chromebook with you, that's all right. Still pay attention to what's happening here, but I definitely encourage you to grab your Chromebook and go through this process once you do have your Chromebook. So, just so that you know, I have uploaded you into the ACT test system, and this is an official PreACT exam provided by ACT. As I have said, you will not log into your Chromebook, so you're going to log out. If you're logged in right now, you're going to log out of your Chromebook. You'll open the Apps tab, you'll select the appropriate TestNav icon. On test day, like as mentioned before, you are going to have an admission ticket or an access ticket that has a username and a password. You'll enter that and enter the test platform, and you'll follow instructions and take the exam. Right now, however, we need to complete a system check. So, if you have not already, please take out your Chromebook. Please log out of the Chromebook. Sign out. Give you a few seconds to do that. And teachers, at any time, if you need to pause this video so that students can kind of catch up to where we are, please feel free to do that. All right, so I'm hoping that we are logged out of the Chromebook. Your screen should look something like that. And you're going to open the Apps tab, which is in the bottom left-hand corner. When you launch that Apps tab, these are the apps that you have available to you. You're going to click Home-TestNav. Once you do that, you might see the application launch screen, which will say TestNav. And then you're going to see a very busy screen. And we're going to select PreACT. It should be the second button that you can select on the very left-hand column. So we're going to select PreACT. When you do that, this is the login screen. As I've said, on test day, you will receive an admission ticket or an access ticket that has your username and password, which is unique to you. But we're not going to do that right now. We don't need to do that right now. Right now, we are going to click on this little icon, this little person icon in the upper right-hand side. When you click on that, you'll see a drop-down menu, and you're going to select App Check. New screen pops up, and you're going to say Run App Check. Once that app check is complete, you should see 2 little green check marks. Kiosk mode has passed and connectivity to TestNav passed. Green is good. We like that. Once you do that, you're going to click Run Network Check. The network check box pops up. You don't need to mess with the number of devices. I think it says 100. You're just going to select Start Diagnostics Test. And again, your test results should say pass. And then you're going to go back to sign in. So you should find that back to sign in the upper left-hand corner. So you're back to this screen, the TestNav login screen. I want to direct your attention to the area below the blue sign-in button, which should say practice tests in some way. It might say TestNav exam practice tests, something like that. Once you click on those practice tests, you should see a little menu similar to this. I would like for you to select the Examinee tutorial. I'm not going to run through it right now, but if you click the TestNav Examinee tutorial, it will take you through the features of TestNav that are available to you during the test. I strongly recommend that you do this prior to test day. It will allow you some time to get familiar with how the test looks, how you move from one question to the next, how you navigate on the screen, how you select answers, what the text looks like. It'll just give you an opportunity to practice some of that now so that on test day, you're ready to roll. There are also actual practice tests that you can take. On this screen, you'll see that those practice tests also have accommodations built into them. So if you know that you receive certain accommodations, you can select that test and you can practice with your accommodations. Again, I strongly recommend that you take a look at the English, math, reading, and science practice tests. You don't have to do the whole thing, but I recommend that you take a look at it so you can see what do the questions look like, what does the prompt look like, how long are the reading passages, things of that nature, just so that you're more familiar with what the test looks like, how it feels, what does it look like on the screen, so that you don't wonder what's happening on test day. Once the test timer starts, you'll lose time if you're not familiar with what you're supposed to do and you're trying to figure it out in the moment. So again, I strongly recommend you look at that Examinee tutorial and that you also look at each one of the tests so that you can become familiar with how they function. This is, again, a real pre-ACT provided by ACT. You will receive a score report that shows you how you might perform on the actual ACT. Take it seriously. You're preparing for exams in April. We want an accurate representation and reflection of where you are right now, what your strengths are, and what your areas of improvement are. I always recommend that you get a good night's sleep, that you eat a good breakfast. You'll need to, again, to bring your fully charged Chromebook to the test. You can also bring a calculator, but there is a Desmos calculator built in to the exam. If you have any questions, I am available to you. Please email me at tmalik@lhs210.net, or you can always pop down by the main office, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.